So in this video, I'm gonna be listing of the top 10 most essential unit that you should get in Anime Adventures Update 6.5. Units are useful in some meaningful way, which means not having any of these units I am going to be mentioning could prevent you from winning in certain parts of the game, especially raids, story modes, infinity castle, and more. Now, if you're trying to figure out which of your units you want to use up all your food on, then these 10 units are your safest bets. Sure, it may not be overly necessary for you to have these 10 units, but the difference that it would make having these units as opposed to not having them is too significant to ignore. Therefore, if you lack in any of these 10 most essential units, then I highly suggest you look towards getting them as soon as possible. If any of the units I'm gonna be mentioning and happen to have the evolution materials or making them strong in story modes or infinite modes, then you should be doing story modes and infinite modes as much as you can. If you know someone who can trade you one of these units, well, at the time I am recording this video, trading for units is not out yet. So do keep in mind, these units will allow you to be one of the very best like no one ever was. With that being said, let's get started with our 10th most essential units. The 10th most essential units, which is none other than Erwin, or as we call Erwin. This legendary summoning and the hybrid unit is special as it was one of the first legendaries released in Anime Adventures. Erwin is one of the most strongest summoning and hybrid unit that you can use in any situation, story modes, acts, infinite modes, raids, challenges, and infinity castle. This is because of his versatile kit, which allows for your Erwin to handle some of the toughest opponents, with Erwin being able to attack ground opponents and air opponents, where it will be essential to have heal or hybrid units as you progress into late game. Not only that, once you have upgraded Erwin to upgrade 3, he is given a brand new ability called Dedicate Your Heart. He increases the damage stats of units in his range by 25%. The buff lasts for 20 seconds and the ability has a cooldown of 40 seconds, making Erwin one of the powerful and most well-rounded unit you must have. What's also really nice about Erwin is of course how easy it is to obtain, with spending 2,500 gems if you do not have a VIP game pass, but if you do have a VIP game pass it will be lowered by 500 gems, making Erwin easy to obtain and only spending 2,000 gems. All of these factors makes Erwin one of the most essential unit to have. If you are having trouble obtaining gems, I recommend doing your hard modes on your story mode, acts, infinite modes, raids, infinity castle, challenges, and the AFK room, which is all located at spawn. The 9th unit, which I consider to be one of the most essential, has to be Geo, or as we call Dio. This ground legendary unit is one of the kind, as it was one of the first few legendaries released in Anime Adventures alongside with Erwin. Geo is the most beginner friendly unit that you can have and essential using in story mode acts, in early and mid-game challenges, and infinite castle, with Geo being a multi-hit unit, which allows for your Geo to shred through shielding opponents, making it easier for you to win. With Geo being able to attack ground units and shred through shields, this unit will be essential as you progress into mid-game. And not only that, once you have upgraded Geo to upgrade 4, he will be given a passive ability called Da World. Every time Geo attacks, he will freeze enemy in his range. Though it has a cooldown, so you cannot stun abused enemies by using Geo or any other freezing units. The stun cooldown is 10 seconds, which is enough time to be able to carry your games, making Geo one of the beginner-friendly unit you must have. With Geo being a legendary, it is not difficult to obtain with spending 2,500 gems. As I mentioned previously, if you have VIP Game Pass, it will be lessened, making Geo easy to get, only spending 2,000 gems guarantee to get him. All these factors I have mentioned makes Geo one of the most essential unit to have. Moving on, the 8th unit, which I consider to be one of the most essential, has to be Cell Semi-Perfect, or as we call Semi-Perfect Cell. This heal legendary unit came out recently in Update 5.5. Cell Semi-Perfect is the highest DPS legendary unit you can use both in story mode acts, infinite modes, raids, challenges, and infinity castle. This has much to do with its very versatile kit, which doesn't only allows you to target ground opponents. Cell Semi-Perfect is also able to target air units, with him being a heal unit. Cell Semi-Perfect will be essential to have as you progress into the game. Not only that, once you have fully maxed Cell Semi-Perfect's DPS, if you don't know what DPS stands for, it stands for damage per second. His DPS is 1687.41 damage at max level, making it the strongest legendary unit and as well as strongest heal unit. Cell's semi-perfect attack type is an AoE, able to defeat as many opponents inside the AoE circle, which makes Cell's semi-perfect unit one of the most essential unit to have, with him being the strongest legendary DPS unit as well. He is only obtained through West City Raid, and you can trade the materials dropped from the West City Raid to get Cell's pre-evolution and evolve them to Cell semi-perfect. All of these factors make Cell semi-perfect one of the most essential unit to have. Moving on to the 7th unit, which I consider to be one of the most essential, has to be Boomy, or as we call Bulma. This legendary ground farm unit. Boomy was one of the first few legendaries released in anime adventures alongside with Erwin and Geo. Boomy can be used in story modes, acts, infinite modes, raids, challenges, and Infinity Castle. With Boomy being a 6 update old farming unit, she is able to stay in the meta teams as there isn't any new ground farm units ever since, making Boomy the best ground farm unit. Her max upgrade giving you a 10,000 yen income per wave. Another alternative if you do not own Boomy, which would be Speed Cart, or as we call Speedwagon. Speedwagon is must have for story mode acts, as you can place Speedwagon as soon as you spawn. With the next wave you can place Erwin, which will make it easier for you, with Speed Cart costing 550 yen to spawn and Bulma costing 800 yen to spawn. Makes Speed Cart more of a valuable choice to bring him for story mode than Bulma. Not only that, you can sell Speed Cart, as with Bulma she is unsellable. The 6th unit, which I consider to be one of the most essential, has to be Erza Lightning, or as we call Erza Lightning Impress Armor. This mythical Erza heal unit was brought into the game at update 5 with the Fairy Tail update in Anime Adventures. Erza is a very versatile, can be all played in story mode, acts, infinite modes, challenges, raids, and Infinity Castle. This is because on how much overloaded Erza's kit is, being the highest damage heal unit, 44,179 damage, all-rounder, best heal unit, one of the best, highest range compared to other heal units. Her fighting style is an AoE circle. As you upgrade her to fully max, her AoE circle gradually gets bigger, which means more enemies will get damage. If you ever want to know what evolution is best out of the 3 forms of Erza Valkyrie, Erza Lightning, and True Heart, the safest bet is Erza Lightning, as she does do heaps of damage and really essential to have Erza Lightning in your team. A little bonus is that this Erza Lightning gives a little bonus. Cosmetic, am I right? Cosmetic are pretty cool. Into the 5th unit, which I consider to be one of the most essential, has to be Natsu Lightning Dragon Mode, or as we call Natsu Lightning Fire Dragon Mode. This mythical Natsu Lightning Dragon Mode ground unit was brought into the game at update 5 with the Fairy Tail update in Anime Adventures, along with Erza, which appeared in this top 10 most essential unit list. Natsu is a burning unit, which you will need this against regen units, which is located as you progress into the game. And why it is because as you progress into the game and you are defeating the Magic Town map, it will be essential to have this unit, as it will do twice the damage to freeze opponents, as if any other units that isn't burning units, it will do less damage than they actually do against freeze opponents. Natsu's damage per second is also one of the highest in the game. As I am recording this video, his DPS is 4,245.37. This does not include the burn after he attacks, so he will do extra more damage with him doing burn, which then makes Natsu Lightning Dragon Mode one of the most essential unit to have. The 4th unit that I consider to be one of the most essential is given to Getu Maximum, or as we call Geto Maximum Uzumaki, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce everything, by the way. This secret limited unit, Getu Maximum, is a ground and at final upgrade he will be able to attack air opponents, making him a hybrid unit. Getu Maximum was brought into the game at upgrade 6.5, which is a part 2 update from the update 6. It is the final evolution of Getu. Getu Maximum is not easy to obtain, as it drops only from the event dungeon and the drop rate is 1%. which you will be needing to countlessly do Curse Parade. This unit is also a lot easier to obtain in a way, as the game developers is kind enough for us to spend our gold to buy the keys instead of the last event dungeons. They want us to grind for tokens to buy the keys. Getu Maximum is the second highest damage hybrid unit, which 48,965.64 damage. Although you are wondering, why is the first highest damage hybrid unit is not on the list? It is because Getu Maximum has a little more range, costs slightly less, and less cooldown compared to Jelly. The third unit that I consider to be one of the most essential is given to Sukuno, or as we call Sukuna. Sukuna was brought into the game at update 6.5, which is a part 2 update from the update 6. It is the final evolution of Itadoki. Sukuno is easy to obtain, as you will only be needing to spend 16,000 gems if you have VIP Game Pass, and if you don't, you'll be spending 20,000 gems. So I highly suggest to save yourself some time and treat yourself by buying the VIP Game Pass. Sukuno is an AoE target type unit, and not a single target, by the way. This is important as you would want to have most of your units to do AoE and not a single target. Sukuno is one of the best, actually the best DPS unit, as Sukuna does 5,182.64 damage, and this does not count on the bleeding damage he does over 3 ticks, being 14,150.62. Sukuno is a bleeding unit at the same time, which will be essential to use as you progress into the game, making your matches easier, fighting off regen opponents in story modes, infinite modes, and more. The second unit that I consider to be one of the essential is Goju 6 Eyes, or as we call it, Gojo 6 Eyes. This mythical unit, Gojo, is a ground unit. Gojo was brought into the game at update 6. Goju 6 Eyes is the final evolution of Goju. Goju is easy to obtain like others in this list, as you'll only need to grind for 20,000 gems for non-VIP users, 16,000 for VIP users to guarantee that you get the unit. Goju is a very versatile unit with his move pool being able to entirely freeze globally, lasting for 8.5 seconds and buffing himself for 8.5 seconds by 100%, which makes him do damage twice as more. Goju 6 Eyes is also the first mythic you can infinitely upgrade by collecting 3 eyes dropped from the secret bosses in Jujutsu Kaisen map, then trading them into Goju NPC. Although I would like to point out that as you progress into upgrading Goju 6 Eyes, the infinity will cost twice the material from previous upgrades starting at 3. Goju 6 Eyes damage is exceptionally well, being able to freeze globally, making him overpowered as his damage is 48,000 at upgrade 9 max level, with his DPS being 8,053.56, making Goju 6 Eyes essential unit to have in update 6.5. Finally, the first most essential unit to have right now as I speak. This unit is first place that I consider to be the most essential unit, which is... Comment down below what you guys think. Alright, so the first most essential unit is Yuto, Curse Child, or as we call Yuta, Curse Human, was brought into the game at update 6.5, which is a part 2 update from the update 6. This mythical unit, Yuta Curse Child, it is the final evolution of Yuto. Yuto is easy to obtain, as you will only be needing to spend 16,000 gems if you have a VIP Game Pass, and if you don't, you'll be spending 20,000 gems. So I highly suggest to save yourself from time and treat yourself by buying the VIP Game Pass. Yuto Curse Child starts off being an AoE target. As he progresses, he changes his attack style by being a straight line, as you guys can see on the screen right now. With Yuto Curse Child, overwhelming damage, 151,867.07 damage, his range being so incredibly high, being 55, and the ability cooldown is 18, making his DPS 8,437.06 damage. So I really consider to have this unit. Just go get it right now. Like, bro, it doesn't hurt to get this unit. Like, I don't have anything else to say to this unit other than it's just great. It's awesome. Get it right now, please. Finally, I'm so happy to have this video already finished, since I had so much struggles on freaking making this video. So I really recommend for you to listen to what I had to say. And yeah, so this is the end of top 10 most essential unit you must get in Anime Adventures Roblox. Thank you for everyone watching till the end, and remember, I love you, drink water, and take care of yourself. Bye bye! I would like to say I will be posting a blooper soon on how I did on this video, on making this video. So if you want to see that blooper, become a YouTube member. Yay! Exciting, right?